What's happening around the world? It's time for another serving of News Bites.
最近国内外发生哪些大事？午餐搭配 ICT News Bites， 慢慢的一口接一口吸收最新时事和趣闻。
Hello, everybody, and welcome to a new episode of News Bites. I'm Ryan Drillsma.
And I'm Nancy Sun.
In today's news, diving for diplomas.
Very savvy birds.
And Paddington Bear is a politician.
All that and more coming up next.
Top of Taiwan.
国小学生潜水拿毕业证书. Students dive for school diplomas.
Splish splash. I love playing in the water, but I wish I was better at swimming.
I think I'm pretty good at swimming, but I wish I could dive under the water like a deep-sea explorer. 向深海探险家潜水.
It's not just deep-sea explorers that can dive. Did you know some kids in Taiwan do it when they graduate 毕业 elementary school?
There's a school in New Taipei City called Hemei Elementary School. It's actually located right next to a diving school. And it's also beside a place called Dragon Cove, which is where lots of people go diving and snorkeling Fuqian in the summertime.
The kids at the elementary school have to dive in order to get their diplomas, which the school puts in the ocean. 和美国小的学生要潜入水里，拿到自己的毕业证书。How cool is that?
Of course, these kids already learn to dive before they graduate.
Hemei Elementary School is home to a special center called the Marine Education Resource Center, which teaches children about not only diving, but everything to do with the ocean.
Taiwan has 22 marine education centers around the country. The government uses the centers to promote conservation and the sustainable use of marine resources.
政府透过海洋教育中心推动海洋保育以及永续利用海洋资源。
And the center in New Taipei holds a competition each year so students can show how much they have learned about protecting the ocean.
Let's do our best to protect it so we can continue swimming and diving there.
Going global.
科学家进行实验，喜鹊棋高一着。Magpies outsmart scientists.
Magpies are black and white birds that can be found in many places across the world. They are thought to be very intelligent. That's another word for smart or clever.
After a recent science experiment, 实验 in Australia, scientists found that magpies are much smarter than they thought. In fact, they managed to outsmart the scientists.
The scientists put GPS trackers, GPS 追踪器, on 5 magpies. The trackers were attached like little backpacks, 背包.
And they would help the scientists learn about magpies' movements, as well as test the tracking technology. 科学家希望追踪器可以让他们更了解喜鹊的习性，也可以测试新的追踪科技。
What the scientists didn't expect, 出乎意料, was that the magpies would work together to remove, 移除, the GPS trackers.
Like a backpack, each tracker was attached to a magpie by a strap, 带子. The straps were supposed to only come off when they touched a magnet at a feeding station. 追踪器有一个特殊的开关，喜鹊必须碰触到特定的喂食器，开关才会解开。
This plan would have meant the scientists didn't have to run around to catch the magpies and take the trackers away themselves. But during the experiment, one magpie started to peck, jaw, at the strap of its tracker. And others joined in to help the magpie.
And before long, the magpie was free of its tracker. The experiment didn't go how the scientists wanted it to.
But that doesn't mean they didn't learn anything. One scientist said it was the first time they had seen magpies show altruistic behavior. And that means the magpies helped each other without getting a reward. 奖品.
What clever birds!
Today's feature.
从演员到总统，乌克兰总统的上一份工作。Ukraine president's peculiar previous job.
Before Ukraine's president, Vladimir Zelensky, became known around the world for his bravery, he was known in his country for another reason.
He was the Ukrainian voice of Paddington Bear, Paddington 熊.
Zelensky can be seen in a special video promoting 推广, the movie.
He introduces himself saying, "Hello to my darling friends. I, Vladimir Zelensky, will lend my voice to the wonderful, charismatic, friendly bear Paddington."
乌克兰总统曾为派丁顿熊配音。
Even British actor Hugh Bonneville, who was in both Paddington and Paddington 2, said he didn't know that Zelensky was the voice of Paddington in Ukraine.
Bonneville used social media to say, "Speaking for myself, thank you, President Zelensky." Before he ran for president of Ukraine, Zelensky was in the entertainment industry. 泽伦斯基当乌克兰总统之前，在娱乐业界工作。
He was a comedian, but no one is laughing at him now.
The recap.
So, in today's News Bites, the kids at a New Taipei elementary school have to dive in order to get their diplomas.
These kids already learn to dive before they graduate. They learn about the ocean at the Marine Education Resource Center.
And scientists found that magpies are much smarter than they thought.
The scientists put GPS trackers on 5 magpies. The magpies work together to remove the GPS trackers.
And Ukraine's president, Vladimir Zelensky, used to work in the entertainment industry.
He was the Ukrainian voice of Paddington Bear. Zelensky can be seen in a special video promoting the movie.
And that's today's episode of News Bites.
This week, we want you to have your say about animals as pets. If you don't have a pet, then you probably know someone with one. But pets aren't only dogs or cats. There are so many animals in the world, and many of them can even live with you at home. So if you could have any animal as a pet, what would it be? Record your message and send it to newsbites@icrt.com.tw with your name and age, and if you like, the name of your school. Make sure to send us your recording by Thursday at noon, and you might hear your message on our show on Friday.
ICRT 与教育部国民及学前教育署下次继续和您聊新闻。ICRT App 和网站也能重复收听。
More local and international news next time on News Bites. Brought to you by the K-12 Education Administration. Find past episodes available on the ICRT website and app.